Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And the third and final movie for review tonight is the sequel to Venom, which is 2021's Venom: Let There Be Carnage. If I wasn't really sold on Venom as a movies in the superhero kind of galaxy of films, I'm this one. I thought that was my least favorite of the superhero films. This one is actually my least favorite. So we return to Eddie Brock. Oh yeah, before I go into the story, the movie stars, of course, returning Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock and Venom, alongside Michelle Williams, Naomi Harris, Reed Scott, Stephen Graham, and Woody Harrelson. And this is one of my biggest problems, even going into the movie before I watched it, is that although I love Woody Harrelson, I do not like him as a villain, and I especially do not like him at this stage of his career as a villain for a superhero movie. Now I know he is inside, with the symbiote and all that stuff, but still, um, I can't buy him as I can't really buy him as a villainous character, to be honest. I know he's done a few roles like that, but for me, Woody Harrelson is not some. To me, it was already a letdown in the movie, and I heard that he is basically the villain in a superhero movie. Maybe if it was something else, I would have still bought it, but not in a superhero movie. So anyway, came out in late to, I don't know, the last September of 2021. I watched it just a few days ago. So basically, Cletus Cassidy is, which is Woody Harrelson character, as a young man was separated from the love of his life, Frances Barrison, who has some kind of superhero power where she can scream um, sonic scream powers basically, and she's separated from him, and she's held in another institute, but he doesn't know where she. I think he suspects where she is. The Ravencroft Institute. A young police officer who was in charge of transporting her shoots her in her eye, but the sonic screams actually damages his hearing. He later on becomes a detective, which we get to see this many years later. So currently he's a detective, and he basically asks, his name is Mulligan, Detective Mulligan, and he asks Eddie Brock to go and speak to the killer, um, Cletus Cassidy, who's in prison and sentenced to be killed. Um, basically. While talking, Venom and Eddie Brock are able to decipher where some of the bodies that he has hidden are buried, and they manage to get that. Eddie Brock, he basically now his journalism career is soaring right now, and Cletus is going to be killed. However, he calls to meet Eddie Brock one more time before the execution, and that time they have an argument. And while they argue, Venom gets angry because he insults him, and he tries to attack him. Cassidy bites Brock's hand, and in that moment he ingests a little bit of Venom's symbiote, which becomes an offshoot, and that becomes later becomes a bigger symbiote called Carnage, and that's how he manages to. That's how basically Carnage comes about. Carnage gets inside Cassidy, and at the execution, however, he rescues this man, and Cassidy now comes out, destroys a lot of people, a lot of the cops and authorities, goes and finds the Ravencroft Institute and rescues the love of his life, and they are destroying a lot of things in between. Eddie and Venom have a fight because Venom is upset the fact that he is not getting, he's hungry and he wants to eat humans, basically criminals, and that is what they had initially agreed, but Eddie doesn't want him to do that. So they have a fight, and initially, basically, Venom moves out of him and goes and tries to find things on his own, tries to live a life on his own. However, they finally do reunite, and they manage to get he, instead of just body hopping and trying to find similar hosts that are as compatible as Eddie, he goes about, but however he comes back to help Eddie defeat Cassidy and Barrison. And in the fight, Mulligan looks to be killed. However, he actually does survive in the end. And Venom is overpowered initially by Carnage, but he managed to trick them using Barrison's powers, and he managed to kill both of them. Venom devours Carnage and kills Cassidy, while Barrison is also crushed by the collapsing cathedral. And that is when we actually see that Mulligan is actually possibly still alive. And however, they're now fugitives. They have to go away from the law, making sure that Anne and her fiance are safe. They go on a holiday. Eddie and Venom go on a holiday, fugitives from the law, and this is when, towards the end of the movie, where they find out about different universes, is what this actually says. And you could actually make out in the credits that that's what they're actually doing, trying to make it out, where they find out about Spider-Man, J. Jonah basically informing that Spider-Man is actually Peter Parker, and they see that on the news. Thus ends the movie. And like I mentioned, I am not sold by Venom. In the first movie, I think I gave it a 7.5. I don't remember exactly what I gave it. Yeah, probably that. I'm going to give this possibly a 6.5 out of 10. Not my kind of superhero film at all. I don't know. I just don't buy it. Like I said, I had problems going into the movie because of Woody Harrelson being the villainous character over here, and I just didn't. It was fun to see two of the symbiotes fighting out against each other, just like in the first movie, but this wasn't something that I really liked that much. The movie did make some money. Excuse me. What are the reviews for it? Again, a lot of people, I think they were kind of happy with this movie, but I wasn't. I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10, guys. I don't really see. I wouldn't be really looking forward to watching these two movies in my, will definitely come back to it eventually, but yeah, Venom isn't really my cup of tea at all. Anyway, thank you guys. 6.5 out of 10 for me. Take care. I shall see you again in more reviews coming up sometime soon. Bye bye.